Hey guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of the 24-hour Shopify dropshipping challenge. And the savvy of you will notice that this challenge is officially over. And if you're part of the Discord channel, which is linked down below, by the way, it's a free Discord channel. You can go check it out. It's full of e-commerce people just like yourself. You will know a little bit more about how things have been going and things I've been testing. But for those of you who aren't and those of you who are new around here, I'm just going to take you through what was happening and what the strategy was. So we started off testing out new product strategies on TikTok ads. We've been doing a lot of TikTok ads on this channel, mostly because Facebook ads are so expensive recently. So let me just minimize myself and we'll just dive into the details. You can see here, these are the two new product test campaigns, both of which only spent about $20 or $25 each. If we then dive into the ad groups of these campaigns and then we filter by cost, you'll see the only thing that actually spent on these campaigns were these ad sets here. And if you watch one of my older videos about spending issues on TikTok, this is what we ran into. And to be honest with you, I'm pretty tired of it. And I've moved on to Facebook for this test. And you'll see why in just a minute. So these audiences here are essentially just view content and add to cart audiences. Conversion optimization ad sets. These aren't going for complete payment. All of these ones down here, these are all complete payment. You'll see here, only spent $1. And this is over a week's period. Now, previously on some of my other tests, what's happened is if I set up a view content or an add to cart audience, ad group rather, then the complete payment ones will start spending. In this case, this didn't happen. Then I tried just to increase the budgets of these. So I put all of these at $2,000 a day in spend, and I limited the campaign to $100 per day. And you can see that also didn't work. I also tried a manual bidding. That also didn't work. And that was a $25 cost cap. And that realistically should have spent. So as it turns out, I mean, I've got some theories. And my first theory is it's down to the creative and the website. And TikTok just didn't like it. The ads weren't approved. Now, sometimes what will happen is TikTok will say your ads are approved, but they're actually sort of not. I don't know. I don't like the phrase, but shadow ban could be something along those lines. And I've heard other people have the same issues before. Now, if we compare this to, I'm not going to go through it now, but if we compare this to some of the other stuff that I've run on the same ad account, this is a whole new pixel, a whole new website, a whole new creative and copy. So it's very possible that if I set up, I mean, I did try new pixels and those didn't work as well, but it's very possible that if I set up a new website with a new product, with a new pixel, it would then start spending again. So you guys may not have this issue. If you don't have this issue, watch my previous video. This is a good product testing strategy on TikTok. The strategy still works, but obviously I couldn't get the spend. But I wanted to finish this video for you guys. So I went ahead onto Facebook, much against my better judgment, and I set up the same campaign. So you can see here the new product launch campaign. This is on Facebook. Pretty much the same thing. This here is 15 ad sets I created. Each of these are at £10 per day in spend. And if we scroll across here, we look at the click-through rate, you can see the ads performed incredibly well. 2.75 average click-through rate is incredibly good. And if we look at the CPMs on this, £16 CPM. Now, although I spent £92, I didn't get any purchases. And part of that is due to the fact that each ad set only spent about £4 or £5. And then the other part of that is due to conversion rates on the website. Now, this is something which is a bit more advanced, but I'm going to take you through it and then we'll dive into the data. And this is how I auto-manage a lot of my campaigns. So this is something that you can do on TikTok ads as well. It's exactly the same. If you go to rules here, it's manage rules. And on TikTok, it's automated rules, and you can create or manage rules. It's exactly the same thing. Now, if we come on to manage rules, I'll take you through the rules that I set up. Now, this campaign is supposed to spend £140 per day. And as it turns out, I set those up for midnight, and I was targeting America, Australia, and the United Kingdom. And that would have spent about £30, £40 overnight while I was asleep across all of those ad sets and ads. What I wanted to do was make sure that I wasn't losing money on these tests. So I set up these automated rules to turn off my ads if, let me preview this here, one of my ads has spent more than £4 and got less than 7 clicks, which puts the average cost per click around 60 pence, I think, 60 or 70 pence. So I'm saying if my cost per click is greater than 70 pence, turn the ad off. And for those of you who are from the US of A, 70 pence is almost $1. 80 pence is $1. So it's about 90 cents, 95 cents. And obviously that's far too expensive. I'm looking for cost per clicks around 60 cents or less. And I gave this a little bit more of leeway because I'm in the testing phase. I also set up a rule to turn off my ad sets, and that is exactly the same thing. I just gave them a bit more time. You can see here, if it's spent greater than £6 and it's got less than 9 clicks, turn off the ad set. And I'll do the maths now, but I think that was around 80 pence cost per click. So 6 divided by 9. 66 pence, which is, again, very similar to the ads. If the ad set is too expensive, turn off the ad set. And you can see here, if we go back onto the onto the campaign, here we go. So this is the campaign, and we'll head over to here. You can see here a lot of the ad groups were ad sets were turned off. So I'm jumping between TikTok and Facebook. It's very confusing. So a lot of these were turned off. Now, if we filter by the ones which were turned off, you can see here cost per click. Well, actually, we'll filter by cost per click. Some of them were getting quite high cost per click. So all of these ones here were turned off because the cost per click was far too high. There was no way I could have made these profitable. If we then look at the ads within these, and we look at the cost per click on some of the ads, £2, £2.20, £1.96, fairly expensive cost per clicks. But we also had ads which were spending and weren't making any clicks at all. Now, these ads were turned off by the rules. These ads were left on because they hadn't had any clicks and they gave them a bit more chance. This ad probably would have turned off if the ad set hadn't turned off first. Now, if we look at some of the other ones that then started to do okay, so if we filter by cost per click again, come down here. So these three audiences here, we'll look at these. £1.23, 96 pence and 87 pence. So excluding this blanket audience, these were doing okay cost per click. I know I can get those down. If we then look at the ad level of these, look at the cost per click, these are expensive, but you'll notice the ad that was left on, 77 pence cost per click. And this ad, I'm not really sure why that's turned off. But you can see 77 pence cost per click, almost a 6% click-through rate, but we weren't getting any add to carts on this ad set. And you can see on these two ad sets alone, we spent £7 each, so about £14. And at this point, I knew that I needed, I basically just wasn't going to let it run. And also the CPMs were quite high. Now, if we look at something that spent a little bit more that I gave a bit more chance to, if we sort of filter by spend, you can see here, broad audience was my best audience. At this point, 63 pence cost per click, but I was also getting add to carts and some checkouts on this audience. Now, I could have let this spend a bit more if I wanted to. I could have made this spend and hopefully made some purchases. But then I did some more digging. I had a look at the analytics on Shopify, and as it turns out, my events were doubling up. So this was probably only about 2 or maybe even 1 add to cart and about 1 checkout, which puts my checkout cost at about £12, my add to cart cost at around £6 or £7, which still are very, very good stats. If you have these stats, again, probably worth running for. Now, obviously, you've got to convert pounds into dollars, which means that there's actually probably about $1 or 2 more than it shows on here in pounds. And then I basically did some maths and I figured that realistically, I'm not going to make this product work. So I ended up turning off the whole campaign in the end and I didn't let it run anymore. But you can see this is an example of a product test that sort of worked but went wrong. And I basically hedged my bets and I said, it's time to save my money on this product. I spent £100 on this product. It's probably about $120, $130. And I didn't want to lose any more money testing on this product. It wasn't worth it. Now, for those of you who are testing products on TikTok or on Facebook, it's exactly the same strategy I went through in my previous video. And all I'm going to go through now for the last part of this video is how to optimize your ads and how to know when to cut your losses with a product. Because, I mean, myself, I've spent millions of pounds and dollars on ads across different platforms over the last few years. So I know when ads are going to work and when ads aren't going to work. And the stats on these were just showing to be too expensive. Now, I reckon if I could be bothered and if I wanted to put some more time and money into this, I could have got this working, given a bit more time, given a bit more optimization. And if I were to do this again, I would do it very differently. My initial strategy was to be very, very aggressive with the ads. It was to be, let's test 15 different audiences and I'll test those audiences very quickly and I'll just kill very, very quickly. And obviously, as you can see, a lot of these audiences were showing promising signs to start off with. Also, another initial mistake of mine is I forgot this account was in pounds. So I thought all of these were 80 cents. And I was like, these are very good stats. But obviously, they're not. They're in pounds, which means it's a lot more expensive than the sort of perceived expense. So yes, at that point I decided, this wasn't going to work. And realistically, if I were to do this again, I would just test 5 audiences. That's just 5 audiences. That's £50 per day. I would do the same optimization on there. But if you look here, if I look at my cost per click, so this is why I always tell students of mine, clients of mine, to always test audiences. If I were to test these 5 audiences here to start off with, right, let's just ignore everything else. And if I'd only chosen these 5 audiences, retro style, for those of you who want to know what the product is, it's these Super Mario slippers. So I'll just get up the ad. It's these. And these are ads. These are literally just chopped up TikTok videos made into a separate video. So for those of you who want to run ads on Facebook, always try TikTok style ads. They're doing very, very well on Facebook, as you can see with the click-through rates. But that's sort of off tangent. So you can see if I had only chosen these 5 audiences, already immediately I decided this product's just not going to work. And I would have turned it off at around the £20 mark, because you can see here, although the click-through rates are good, we're getting throttled by Facebook because of the CPMs. £20 CPM is very, very high, especially for these audiences. And then you can look at the cost per click, over £2.76 cost per click. That's just ridiculously expensive. Again, not going to work. But then if we look at the broader picture where we've tested more audiences, you can see here, 96 pence cost per click, 87 pence cost per click. These audiences down here, retro gaming, 54 pence cost per click. Alone, these 2 audiences, and broad, obviously, I always recommend people try out broad. These 2 audiences here alone are very good audiences. They were getting very good results. So on the other end of the spectrum, if I tested these audiences first, I just would have been very lucky that these audiences worked. And that's why I always recommend broad, because broad, you tend to get cheaper cost. If you look at the CPMs, £13 versus the £20 CPM we were getting earlier. So always test broad, always test 5 or 6 audiences, and always turn off your ads and ad sets if the spend is over 60 or 70 cents cost per click. And then from there, you want to look at your deeper metrics. You want to look at your add to carts, you want to look at your checkouts, and then you obviously want to look at your purchases. So, that's basically everything I wanted to go through with this video. If you guys have anything else you want to learn, or any more information you want about this specific product test, always go ahead, join my Discord channel. It's linked down below. It's a free Discord channel. Like I said at the start, it's growing quite quickly, actually. We get about 3 or 4 or 5 people joining a day, and it's growing as quite a nice community of people. And if you've got something which is more private, you don't want to share within the Discord channel about your own private stores, always shoot me a message on Instagram at Sebastian_JWB. The link is also down below in the description. But that's it for this dropshipping challenge. Now, I wanted to just give you a bit of an update on what the plan is for the next few videos. I've got some product research videos coming out. I've got some other videos on sort of optimization, how to build stores, conversion rate optimization. All of these videos have already been filmed, and I'm getting ready to upload them. But I've had some people messaging me about digital info products. So if you are someone who's interested in selling info products or digital products, I'm going to be doing a new launch test for a new digital product that I'm launching. And this is something I've been working on for a while, and I thought it'd be worth showing my audience, showing you guys the process for that, the funnel, all of that. I won't give away the actual course that I'm selling, the product I'm selling, just because I don't want people to spam the website and ruin the pixel. But I will take you through the strategy for that in a future video if you guys are interested. That's going to take a little bit more time, but that's something that we will be doing more of on this channel. And that's it. So if you guys have got any video ideas, anything like that, remember, comment it below, join the Discord, send me an Instagram, and don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and we will see you in the next video.